5 mindsets that separate the rich from the poor. Have you ever noticed that two people can start with the exact same background, the same education, the same amount of money, and end up in completely different places? One builds wealth. The other struggles to make ends meet. It's not about luck. It's not about inheritance. It's about what happens between their ears. The way you think about money, problems, and opportunities literally rewires your brain for success or failure. Today, we're breaking down 5 specific mindsets that separate the rich from the poor. And the craziest part, they cost nothing to adopt. Let's get into it. Mindset number 1 is the foundation of everything. It's the difference between two simple questions: how can I afford it? Versus, I can't afford it. I can't afford it is a dead end. It shuts down your brain. It's a period at the end of a sentence. You hear it and you move on. You accept your circumstances. How can I afford it is a question. And your brain loves questions. When you ask how, your subconscious goes to work. It starts looking for solutions. Maybe you need a side hustle. Maybe you need to learn a new skill. Maybe you need to invest instead of spend. Rich parents teach their kids to ask how. The other mindset teaches kids to accept can't. This isn't about being reckless and buying things you can't afford. It's about training your brain to see possibilities instead of barriers. The next time you catch yourself saying, I can't afford that, stop. Ask yourself, how could I afford it? You might be surprised what your brain comes up with. Mindset number 2 is all about where you place the blame. Life punches everyone in the face. You will lose a job. A deal will fall through. The market will crash. When that happens, 2 types of people emerge. The first type says, why is this happening to me? The economy is terrible. My boss is an idiot. The system is rigged. They play the victim, and victims never win. The second type says, okay, this happened. How can I solve this? What's in my control? They take responsibility, even if it wasn't their fault. Here's the hard truth. The world doesn't care about your problems. It cares about solutions, and it pays a premium for people who provide them. If you want to be rich, stop asking why me and start asking what's next. Focus on what you can control, your effort, your skills, your next move, and stop wasting energy on what you can't. Mindset number 3 comes from psychologist Carol Dweck, the difference between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset says, I'm not good at math. I don't know how to invest. I'm just not a salesperson. It treats your abilities as if they're carved in stone. A growth mindset says, I don't know how, yet I can learn this. I can get better. The richest people in the world are usually not the smartest people in the room, but they are the best learners. They adapt. They read. They ask questions. School taught you that if you fail a test, you're dumb. But in the real world, failure is just feedback. The only thing separating you from the skills you need is time and effort. Stop saying, I can't do that. Start saying, I haven't learned that yet. It's a small change in words, but a massive shift in mindset. Mindset number 4 is about how you see the things you buy. Most people look at price tags and see cost. Rich people look at price tags and see value and leverage. Let me give you an example. A poor mindset sees a $1,000 course and thinks, that's too expensive. I can't afford that. A rich mindset asks, if I take this course, can I make $5,000 more? Can I get a promotion? Can I start a business? If the answer is yes, then that $1,000 isn't an expense. It's an investment. This applies to everything: hiring help, buying tools, networking events. Some people see the money leaving their account. Rich people see the potential return. Does this mean you should spend recklessly? Of course not. But train yourself to stop looking at price and start calculating ROI, return on investment. Ask, what will this do for me? Instead of just what will this cost me? Mindset number 5 is the one that separates the wealthy from the wannabes: delayed gratification. We live in a world of buy now, pay later. You see a luxury car, you finance it for 84 months. You see a new TV, it's 0% APR for 2 years. You want to look successful right now. But here's the secret. Most wealthy people got wealthy because they waited. They drove a used car while they built their business. They lived in a small apartment while they invested 30% of their income. They understood that temporary discomfort leads to permanent wealth. A certain mindset says, I work hard, I deserve this treat right now. The wealthy mindset says, I deserve to be rich, so I'll act like it by investing first and spending later. It's the marshmallow test. Kids who could wait and get 2 marshmallows later ended up doing better in life. Adults who can wait to buy the BMW until they can actually afford it. They end up owning the BMW and the house and the freedom. So let's recap the 5 mindsets. Number 1, ask, how can I afford it? Instead of accepting, I can't. Number 2, ask, how can I solve this? Instead of, why me? Number 3, say, I can learn this instead of, I don't know how. Number 4, look for return on investment instead of just looking at the cost. Number 5, practice delayed gratification. Earn it first, then buy it. These aren't hacks, they're habits. And the best part? Anyone can adopt them, starting right now. Which of these mindsets is your biggest struggle? Drop it in the comments. I read them. And if you want to rewire your brain for success, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.